In this video, we're going to connect a domain to our server IP via DNS, and also to configure which port of the Node app redirect to the which URL or domain. Now, if you enter your server IP, you see the default NGINX page. We want to connect a domain to our to server IP to this IP, so we should use a tool that names DNS. I use Auburn Cloud Services for DNS. I suggest it to you, but you can also use the Cloudflare. In DNS, in record management, you can configure your DNS records to tell the DNS tool which URLs translate to which pages, which IPs. So I'm going to add a record that translate test that my sample dummy to translate to our IP. Now you can see here the test.bourdon-app.ir translates to our server IP. Now these are the same. Auburn Cloud DNS translate this URL to this port. Now, as you see, if you enter your server IP, you see the default NGINX, but we want this URL show our Node app. At this stage, the server and our Node app port redirect us to the Node app, but we want this URL plus port. Let's be this. Now we use for this we use NGINX. Going to connect to our server to config. Enter the password. Now we change the directory to NGINX directory. As you can see here, the config files and folder for NGINX. I changed directory for site available. And there is a default config. I suggest you can always config all the NGINX config in the default config file, but I suggest you to use specific files for the specific domains, and also it's better to rename each URL config as the exact URL. But now we just want the root of our server changes to the our Node app port. So we use nano to edit our default config. Now you can see the configs. So here the server listening for port 80, and here at the root page we want to pass the proxy of our Node app to this location. So here we use proxy underline path. So path what? HTTP localhost each port 6679, and it tells NGINX to pass this to this. Now we use NGINX check if our syntax config okay, and it tells it's okay, and also want to use system sudo systemctl restart nginx. Now it's configured, and as you can see here, this IP translates to our node port. So it's done. But we want to, if you add this, it's not redirected because we should config this URL in nginx. Let's config a new file. I told you it's better to add the exact URL for each config for that URL, and yeah. At first, we should config in this. Yeah, we should create a server, and here in this server, we should tell the server is going to config for the URL. What URL? We should hear the server underline name test Ordino -app.ir semicolon, and now we want to use the which location. Location root. Put here like that. Proxy path HTTP localhost 6679 our node app port. It seems okay. Now save it. Another time check as the config file syntax is okay. It tells it's okay, and now sudo systemctl restart nginx. Now if you like here, our nginx redirect this dummy into our localhost 6679 port. Now here, we added a domain to our specific node app on our server. If you want to run multiple node app, you can on multiple domain, you can add multiple config file as I tell you here. In last video, I told you to use pm2 run your app. That's amazing too. But I forgot you to tell you to use pm2 startup systemd that added pm2 at the that make run pm2 when your system boots and start, that makes you to show always pm2 is running. Let me type something. So I added this command pm2 startup systemd. Use it to add pm2 at your startup of server. It added, and it's all done. Thanks for watching this video and see you on next videos. Happy coding!